Hello and welcome to my channel, and today we are filming my February TBR. During February, I'm still going to pull the exact same amount of prompts that I normally do, but I actually do not expect myself to read nearly as many books as I normally would because we're going on vacation for a week. We are spending a week away. It's going to be me, my fiance, their sister, and her girlfriend. So we will not be home. I will not have access to my library collection, and I typically don't read very much, if anything, when we go away. So I cannot promise that the reading is going to be as much as usual. That's also the week of Romantasy-a-thon, and I don't read a lot of romantasy. Actually, I don't think I've really delved into the genre other than maybe one or two books. So I'm gonna try to participate in that because it looks like a really fun, cool concept. And yeah, I think I have some on my Kindle, so I might end up taking my Kindle when we go, but I might be trying to participate in that if I can. If I'm going to get any reading done at all, it's going to be for that. As far as what I'm going to be trying to pick, I still have a bunch of books that were on my winter TBR that, of course, I would like to try to get to this month because this is the last. Technically, winter goes until March 22nd, but for me, the winter months are December, January, and February. So technically, the end of my December TBR will be in February. So, okay. So as usual, let us start by pulling our prompts. Hopefully we get some new ones. This one's supposed to say random color, but the paper got ripped. Meaning I need my laptop. Let me go get that. Okay, instead of just sharing the screen, I'm just going to show you the screen if I can find the mouse. Random color generator. Beige. On screen that looks more like a yellow, but it is beige. So there is not a book with beige on the cover on my winter TBR. But there is one that is part of a series that I've been wanting to start. I was going to wait to read this until a little farther down the line. That way I'm not starting a ton of fantasy series back to back, because I did just start Malice by John Gwynne. Actually, I finished that one, but what is that series called? Faithful and the Fallen, I think. So I think that's the first one we're going to pick for February, and that is Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb. This is the first in a very long series. It's like a bunch of connected series that all connect into like this one world and usually follow the same characters. But we start with the Farseer trilogy. This follows Fitz, who's the bastard son of a prince. I have been really excited for this one. I have heard so many amazing things. We'll see what I think about it. Number 2, LGBTQ rep. Okay, once again, I had none on my winter TBR that could fit this prompt, but yet another one in a series that actually could complete a duology. Shadow of Kiyoshi. We got a little bit of a hint in the first book that Kiyoshi could be bisexual, so let's read this. If you don't know what this is, basically, this is the book series that follows the avatars from Avatar: The Last Airbender before Aang. This one is Kyoshi's. We also have Roku's, and we also have Yang Chen. We don't own those. Well, we own Roku's story, but we don't own Yang Chen's yet. I would like to get those and collect the whole series, because I do really enjoy the world of Avatar: The Last Airbender, especially Kyoshi. She's one of my favorite characters. And yeah, this, the first book was a lot of fun, and it was really good getting to be in the mindset of Kyoshi, and I'm really hoping we continue that in the second and last book. Pick number 3. A readathon prompt. I don't think I'm doing any readathons other than Romantasy-a-thon. Hold please. Okay, so I did look into the Romantasy-a-thon prompts, and it looks like under who to bring, there's a prompt first in a series, and for that one I do have a romantasy book on my Kindle called Bound by Dragons. I read Bound by Death, which is not really a part of the series, but, well, it is part of the series. It's technically a series of standalone novellas with, by different authors usually. I really enjoyed Bound by Death, and this one is definitely by a different author, and it does say that it is a cozy fantasy romance with grumpy sunshine romance and rom-com vibes that is upper YA/new adult novel. No real spice, but book 2 will have a little bit of it. So this is the first book in a direct series. I believe I thought there were only 2, but it says there are 3, and I do have book 2 as well, which I got from a Stuff Your Kindle Day. And pick number 4, a book that has a word in the title of the song that I last listened to. Okay, I actually just looked, and it looks like it was Let Me Love You by Mario. So let me see if I have a book with any of those words. Okay, so I think I have one that actually has all of those words in it, and it's called Let Me Tell You About Love. It is another one that is on my Kindle that I got from a Stuff Your Kindle Day. And I believe this one is about, well, it's telling me page not found. Hopefully that, okay, I thought I had Let Me Love You on my books, but for some reason it's telling me I don't have it on my Kindle, which is weird. I don't know. I'll check later. Either way, I do have a backup in case for some reason I deleted it or it got deleted. And that is To Eat You With, which I don't really know what this one's about. I just really liked the look of the cover. You've heard the tale before. An ailing grandmother, home tucked away in isolation, a clueless young woman hidden behind a red hood, and unknown dangers lurking in the forest. But this isn't your grandmother's fairy tale. Or maybe it is, I don't know her. This is a dark retelling of Little Red Riding Hood, intended for mature audiences. So we'll see what I think about that. All right, and lastly is a recent purchase. What did I purchase recently other than Valor? Oh, I lied. I know exactly what I'm choosing for this. So recently we went to the bookstore and I had $65 worth of gift cards burning a hole in my pocket. So I did get a couple cozy reads, but I also got one that could work for Romantasy-a-thon that I can take with me on vacation. And that is Phantasma. I'm pretty sure this is a fantasy romance. This has been described as like the Hunger Games mixed with like Dante's Inferno. So I am really super excited. I've heard amazing things about this one, and it is probably just the kind of story that I am intrigued by and hopefully will love. I don't know, this one's a little out of my comfort zone. This isn't one that I normally would seek out, but I'm really nervous and excited to check it out and see what I think of it. All right, so this is my official TBR plus the 2 Kindle books that actually will come in handy for my vacation. In terms of rereads, I'll pull one, mostly because I think I'm going to take a break from the series that I've been doing, because I still haven't read Hidden Pictures and I gotta get on that. So I'll pull one from here and hopefully that'll be my only reread of the month. We're reading a couple thrillers this month, which is not typically one that I would go to. 8 Perfect Murders. This is one that I read. I think this is the first book that I ever read on my Kindle. And I really, really, really loved it when I read it. I will say, don't check this out if you're afraid of spoilers, because it does spoil some literary murders. because it is about a man who writes a list of the 8 perfect literary murders, and then he finds out that someone is going ahead and actually committing those murders on his list to see if they're entirely accurate. So it's really interesting and fun. The ending, I wasn't a huge fan of the ending, so we'll see what I think about it now. This is another one that I don't own, so I'll see if I can get the a copy at the library or through my Libby app. And then my series, I already said I'm finishing a series with that duology this month, but I'm also starting 2 new series because Phantasma, and actually I'm starting like 4 new series. I'm finishing a series and adding 4 more to my spreadsheet, which sucks because that's exactly not what I want to do. But both of the Kindle books are part of a series, or actually the beginning of a series. Phantasma is the beginning of a series, but I think they are just companion books. And, of course, Assassin's Apprentice is the start of a very long ongoing series. Well, not ongoing series. I'm pretty sure, like, the books are done, but you get what I point. You get what I mean. Okay, let's see. What will be attempting to finish this month? Make that 5. Make that 5 series that I'm starting this month. So I did say that I put some books on here I put some series in here that I had started or I haven't started yet. So I pulled out The Beyonders. This is a middle grade series, which, I mean, that's not necessarily a bad thing that it's a middle grade series, because it should read pretty quickly, but it's also a very thick book. This is one that Benson has had since they were a kid. I don't remember if they said they read this one or not. It's one that I've been wanting to read for a little while and just haven't gotten around to, and apparently February is the month to do that. And of course I have my unwrapped project, meaning I have to unwrap something from my TBR cart, and I picked kind of a thick one last time, meaning we'll pick a somewhat short one. Actually, yeah, we'll pick kind of a short one, and it'll be this one, which I think might be one of my Christmas ones. So it is the holiday mix-up. I was meant to read this around Christmas, but I did not get to, and then it ended up getting picked in my randomized self-destruct, which should be out before this video. I really, really hope. But this one is basically, from what I understand, it is kind of like the movie While You Were Sleeping, which basically this girl pretends to date this guy who's in a coma, and ends up falling in love with his brother. I'm pretty sure that's the vibes we're getting. I mean, if I'm gonna read a Christmas book not in the Christmas months, it might as well be during the winter months. So sure, why not? I'm not mad about it. We'll see if I like it. If I don't and decide to unhaul it, then, or if I don't and decide not to read it, then it might end up getting unhauled, or I'll just save it for December, because technically that's within the 12-month window. And of course, February is Black History Month, and with my reading being with my time being so limited, I'm not sure if I'm gonna have time to get to these, but I would like to add them to a TBR. That way I can at least attempt to prioritize them. So I will be trying to read The Year of the Witching, finally. I really enjoyed it the first time that I picked this up, and I just never finished it. And Amari and the Great Game by B.B. Alston is the sequel to a very well-loved middle grade book. I really loved the first book when I read it. Very much considered making Benson read it, but ultimately didn't yet. But this one follows Amari, whose brother has gone missing, and she really wants to get to the bottom of it, and she ends up discovering that there is a land of magical creatures that exists, and it might have something to do with why her brother has gone missing. So she decides to infiltrate it and figure it out on her own. I would obviously love to read more books with Black representation than that, but like I said, my reading is going to be kind of at a minimal. I'm not going to have a ton of time, especially with the way work has been lately. So I'm trying to fit in what I can where I can. Okay, so this is my official TBR plus those 2 ebooks plus 8 Perfect Murders. We'll see how many of these we are actually able to get through. I'm actually really excited for this TBR, even though it's a bit intimidating. Let me know what you are reading in February, if there are any books that you think I should have added over others, and like this video if you liked it, and subscribe if you want to see more from me, as well as Benson, who's a frequent member on this channel. I will leave all of their links down in the description box below, as well as links to my social media if you want to get any more updates from me. But until then, goodbye.